George Floyd's death was a catalyst for this new movement we are in.
Bro, you got him down, man. Let him breathe, least, man. I can breathe.
Breonna Taylor's death and the lack of charges showed us just how the country has little value for Black women.
The 26-year-old emergency room technician was shot 6 times in her apartment.
This country has seen these narrations before.
There is growing outrage tonight after an unarmed African-American teenager was shot and killed by
a grand jury has found the evidence is just not there to charge a white police officer in connection with the death of a Black civilian.
23-year-old Black man died at my police lab. Another way of saying that is Trayvon Martin could have been me 35 years ago.
I'm not gonna lie, this time felt different. I felt newly awakened, like much of the country. I don't know if it was because when these other murders happened, I was out of the country. My relationship with this country was one of who is on the outside looking in. I didn't see the news every day. I wasn't constantly reminded. I was in a place of escapism that many Black Americans often think about.
If you are a Black person with any sense, I want you to consider what it would be like to live somewhere other than here. And I'm not saying that you got to pack up and bounce. Thank you, my love. I know you see I'm upset. But I want you to consider it because I think it is imperative that we consider that the preservation of our souls and ourselves and our spirit might mean leaving this place.
At the peak of the news coverage, the protests, the Black testimonies, my conscience began to feel a sort of guilt, imposterism, and a lack of relation to many of these Black experiences that were being told. I did not grow up in environments where I did not feel safe. I did not lack resources because of social economic status. I never felt targeted by the police for being somewhere I looked like I did not belong. These valid, real-life scenarios do not reflect my Black experience. Now, have I encountered racism? Yes. But it's never blunt. It's more like a buzzing in the back of my head. My grandparents can't say the same of their upbringings. They remember only being accepted in certain areas, going to the Black amusement parks, being restricted to particular areas of the beach. In fact, they remember their parents telling them to use the bathroom before they left the house because in many of the stores like JCPenney's, the restrooms were for whites only.
I remember we were going to Ocean Seaview Beach, way down to the beach. And it was a Black amusement park. That's what Black folks went. Then we had City Beach. But when the Ocean View, you went, but 6 days opened up, and about 72 they closed it, they tore it down.
Why?
I guess they wanted to tear it down. By the time we went to it, it was 30, 40 years old, and all the stuff was wore out.
Developing a vaccine in record time.
You know how white folks do it. They don't want to share it. There's no Black folks didn't go. White folks went to Virginia Beach. Then they migrated out of Norfolk. Back in the 60s. In Ghent. This part we had East Ghent and West Ghent. White folks lived in West Ghent. Black folks lived in East Ghent.
Yeah. You know, you can't have a real moment with your dad. What happened to this girl? She ate at 3 Man, look how cute I was.
Did you eat some more?
My mom's experience is more similar to my own. She grew up privileged to an extent. New outfits every Monday after a weekend of shopping. But no braces were coming to that house, as my granddaddy says.
No, you was a braces plant. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, you get no braces up in here, baby.
Her choice to go to an HBCU prepared her for being Black in a white world. It was an introduction to navigating a white male-dominated workforce that she was joining.
You know, I look at it like, you know, we're looking at talking to these white people at work and they talking about, oh, I forgot to report that I had $80,000 from this investment. And I'm like, what the fuck is you doing? Like, what am I doing wrong? But it's not that we're doing anything wrong. It's that we're just getting out the starting block where they've already ran the race. You know, and they have generational wealth where, you know, they got land from their grandparents and land from this person and land from that person. So it's not, you know, so I think sometimes it's not good to compare ourselves to other people. You know, you just have to appreciate where you are in that particular spot.
Take a picture of my pretty picture. Oh, so cute.
Now, in my experience, I feel reminded of my complexion in only two situations. One, when I'm in an environment of mostly white people. Or two, when my mom and I are having one of those real life discussions. These talks or discussions started when I was young. Though back then, they were more like quick one-liners that would constantly be repeated to me. When I was 7, it was, don't touch anything in the store, Jasmine. Don't put your hands in your pocket, Jasmine. Stay where I can see you, Jasmine. Leave your backpack in the car, Jasmine. When I was 16, it was, be mindful of who you associate yourself with. Don't go anywhere with people who don't have money. Stay cautious of your surroundings. Now, at 23, it's advocate for yourself. Don't let people undermine what you have to offer. There will be people observing your actions and reactions, even if you don't think it.
Oh, hey, Nancy. This is so pretty. Oh my gosh, she was beautiful. That's Nancy. Don't pull it out. Jesus. What are you stepping on to make you so tall? Picture. Look, come here. You said this your mama and your daddy. You should redo this, Jasmine. That is so pretty. That is a good picture.
Yeah, I told you. Is that the one your mom and your daddy?
That's my mama.
That's the one I wanted her to fix up and blow it up.
Yeah, that's pretty good. This looks like Sandra, though. Which one? I'm sorry. This looks just like Sandra. Well, that's my mama. That's pretty.
When this new movement began, I was consumed by the news coverage. CNN and ABC was on my screen 24/7. Felt angry and frustrated and in disbelief. Then a feeling of guilt crept in. I couldn't relate to this Black narrative, and that's not to justify that there is a monolithic Black experience. I was overwhelmed into tears repeatedly.
Okay. Do you mind telling me why I'm under arrest, sir?
Tonight, the mayor of Kansas City, Missouri, receiving a death threat, been called the N-word. Why? Well, people who say it say that's because he mandated masks in his city.
These thugs are dishonoring the memory of George Floyd, and I won't let that happen. When the looting starts, the shooting starts.
So now, where does that leave me? Defund the police? Yes. Abolish the police? No. Are all cops bad? No, of course not. Is the system corrupt, flawed, and biased? Damn sure. Like James Baldwin, I don't stand on one side of the movement. Like him, I feel that I am a witness. He doesn't pair himself with any one organization, allowing him the freedom to observe from different perspectives. Asking myself why this or why that has driven me into a wealth of information on history, politics, knowledge, and critical thinking. And I know I've only scratched the surface. I form my own opinions based on facts instead of blindly hopping on the bandwagon. I tell people to vote. At this point, voting is all we really have.
The biggest thing you can do is vote.
That's all you can do. Expect this for me, little one.
Encourage all of you to vote.
Yeah.
And they know that's their biggest fear, the vote.
Now, do I think voting is going to solve everything? No, of course not. But it's a start in a better direction.
This is a coordinated activity happening across this nation. And so we are in a state of emergency. Black people are dying in a state of emergency.
My generation, with social media and our no time for bullshit attitude will hopefully hold these politicians to their word. I remain hopeful, even in this time where everything is so uncertain.